Welcome to Books and Booze, a bookish and wine induced podcast. Whether you're a fan of books, drinking, or true crime, this is the place for you. Your host for the show are me, Jade, and my co-host, Chiara. Enjoy the show, guys.
Hi, Jade.
God, it's been a while.
It's been a while. It's been about almost 2 months, I think, since we recorded.
Yeah, we took a bit of a hiatus.
Time has gotten away from us. Did you want to talk about your holiday?
I went to South Africa and Madagascar, which was absolutely gorgeous. And I was reading The Stranger Beside Me by Anne Rule while I was traveling, but every day was just so jam-packed with activities and traveling around that I didn't really have much time to read at all. So that's why it took me so long to read that book.
Yeah. You always have like such lofty goals for holiday reads, and then you get there and you're like, I don't have time to read.
Yeah, and we always try and get like the overnight flights where the lights go off, so we just end up watching a TV show or movie and then go to sleep. And then the next morning, after about 12 hours flight, you land and then away you go.
Yeah.
So there's not much time to actually read. But so The Stranger Beside Me was really excellent. I did only give it 4 stars though, because I just had this like funny niggling feeling that something was putting me off a little bit, and when upon reflection I realized that it was the author Anne Rule. I just found her quite naive. It irritated me a fair bit just how she was so devastated at the things that Ted did and how she didn't want to believe it. So yeah, just the naivety of it just really annoyed me, because when someone murders, rapes, dismembers, tortures and lies as much as Ted Bundy did, there comes a time where you need to cut them off, and she never did. She was still writing him letters and sending him cigarettes and money and whatever. So
she was young though. Like, how old was she when this was all happening?
She was a fair bit. I think she might have been about 20 years older than he was at the time. She had children. She was going through a divorce, I think. So yeah, it was excellently done. Really, really deserves 5 stars. I just think the author herself just annoyed me a little bit. But yeah, very well researched. Great book. But I'm not sure if I'll be in a hurry to pick anything else up, even though Stranger Beside Me was so good.
Well, I think the different thing about the other books she read is she doesn't have that personal connection. So she doesn't put herself in the other books, because I've read Small Sacrifices by her, which is the Diane Downs case, which is really good.
Okay.
And they read like fiction.
Ah, so they're all true cases, but done in like fiction style. Yeah. That's cool.
And very well researched. Yeah.
I just realised we're Books and Booze and we haven't been speaking about what we're drinking. It is quite early, but you know what? I poured myself a glass of wine.
Did you? I have work today, so I cannot drink. But I've just got a cup of tea.
Good girl. I'm having a Bull Oak Sauvignon Blanc, which is kind of strange. It's just because I don't have any red wine that I'm allowed to touch in the house. We got a whole bunch of really nice South African wines, but they're all red and special, so I'm not allowed to touch them when Mark's not here. So the only thing I had was the Sauv Blanc, and it's quite fruity and tropical. Not as dry as I normally like, but it's refreshing. So that's what I'm sipping on. Yeah, nice. My Books and Booze glass.
So did you drink anything nice while you're away?
Oh gosh, the wedding in South Africa was in the vineyards in Franschhoek and Paarl. So obviously we had so many gorgeous red, white, flippin' rosé, champagne, everything from that area, and it was every wine was amazing. South Africa's very blessed to have such great wine. And there was also, the wedding had like a gin bar, like a special gin bar with pink gin and all sorts of different styles of doing it. So that was really cool. I've been getting into my gin again lately.
Yeah, that's my love language. I'm loving gins at the moment still.
What tea are you having?
Just a English breakfast tea.
Nice.
Nothing too
exciting. One of those in ages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just kind of woken up, so trying to get some caffeine in me before I get started for the day.
Oh, lucky. I've been awake since like bloody 4 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Sleep deprived.
Yeah, because
But
I'm doing shift work now, so I bought this like sleep mask,
oh, nice.
like specifically for kind of shift workers, and it kind of contours like to your eye, so it's not pressing on your eyes, and it's made a big difference. Made a big
Really?
difference in me being able to sleep in.
That's good. Maybe I should look into that. You don't know what it's called?
The brand is called Love Night Shift.
Love Night Shift.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, I must have a look into that because I just need some sleep. But I watched a movie on the plane over to South Africa, and it was Colette with Keira Knightley.
Okay. I don't think I've heard of it.
Really, really good movie. I absolutely loved it. Keira Knightley, it's set in the olden days and in, I think, like the early 20th century, and she agrees to ghostwrite a kind of like an autobiography for her husband, and it's such a success, but he won't let her put her name on it, and it's just horrific, all of that, like the feminism back then and how women were treated so poorly. But I absolutely loved it, and had that period drama style to it, which I really enjoyed.
And she loves those type of movies, doesn't she, Keira Knightley?
I love her. She's one of my favorite actresses. So while I was away gallivanting around the globe, what were you up to?
Well, we went to Queensland, so we went to the theme parks up in Queensland with the kids, and that was fun. And then as for reading, I read A Spark of Light by Jodi Picoult.
Okay.
Which was okay. Like, it wasn't my favorite of hers, and it did get better towards the end, but it was told back to front, which I'm not a huge fan of. Do you like that?
No, I like things to be in order.
Yeah. And the weird thing about it being told back to front is that I think that you lost the chance to build relationships with the characters. So normally her books, you get like a chapter per character, which means you really get a feel for them. Whereas this one was kind of bitsy and all over the place, and it was told back to front, and it's basically the story of a shooting and an abortion clinic.
Okay.
I just think it could have been handled a lot better.
Yeah.
Because it's an interesting subject matter, obviously, in today's climate with, certain politicians trying to outlaw abortions. I think that if it had been told normal style,
Yeah.
you would have got a better feeling for the characters. You would have felt more. Whereas I got to the end and I was kind of like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's done.
I've only read one Jodi Picoult book, and funnily enough, I actually really enjoyed it. It was a movie with Cameron Diaz and the daughter who had cancer. Is it My Sister's Keeper?
Yeah, My Sister's Keeper. That's the first book I read by her. It was fantastic.
Yeah, really, really good. And it was amazing seeing the film adaptation of just Cameron Diaz playing such a different role.
Yeah, she was really good in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've read now all of her books pretty much, and her earlier ones are much better. I enjoy them a lot more. And then I listened to the audiobook of Killman Creek by Rachel Caine, which is the second.
How is it? 'Cause
I really liked it. I really liked it. It was just as good as the first, I thought.
Great.
So I won't go into too much because obviously it's spoiler territory, but it was great, and the audiobook is really good. I really liked the narrator for it.
Yeah. Just in case anyone... Yeah, I listened to it.
Yeah.
But just in case anyone hasn't listened to our previous episode about the first book, can you just give a brief synopsis?
So basically this woman in the first book, she drives up her driveway and it's full of police cars. The police come up to the window and they pretty much arrest her because they think that she's involved in what her husband's been doing in their garage, which she has no idea about. And basically he's murdering and torturing women. So she gets arrested for a while, and then when she gets out, she kind of goes on the run because the husband's still looking for her and her kids. And there are still people out there that want to get her because they think that she was involved in everything. And so at the end of the book, at the end of the first book, he kind of gets out. And then the second book is them trying to get away from him. it's very fascinating, and there's a few twists and turns along the way. And I think the third one is coming out soon. So at the moment it's a trilogy. But I think she's a great character, the main character.
Yeah, it's been a while since I read the first one, so I need to recap and then carry on. I always do that though. I start series and never finish them. I'm useless.
I know, because so many good books come out that you like lose track of yourself.
Mm-hmm. And since I was away on this holiday, I came back and I just had stacks of book packages from the publishing houses waiting for me at the front door. And I'm just like, oh, wow. So I've now requested a bookshelf for my birthday because they are literally just, it's taking up every bit of walking space on the floor. Mark's thrilled.
Then I read 2 quite popular books, and I had contrasting feelings about them. The first one was Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid, which I really enjoyed. I thought it lived up to the hype, and I liked the interview format. I wish I had listened to the audiobook, because the audiobook is like each character is a different voice. So I may go back and do that eventually. I really enjoyed it. I think it was 5 stars. If not, it was very high, 4 stars. The other one I listened to was Conversations with Friends by Sally Rooney. Have you read that one?
No, didn't she write Normal People or something?
Yeah. Which I've got on my shelf, but I didn't like Conversation with Friends. When you read books and the characters are just all really unlikable.
Mm-hmm.
They're just
I like that in a book. I love that in a book.
When they're just horrible, shitty people, and they're all just carrying on and having affairs, and it's not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of hesitant to pick up Normal People.
I actually haven't heard the best things about it, to be honest.
Because I think we had a few authors come on and really like it. And then the other book was Adele, which we both read.
Yes.
Did you listen to the audiobook of that one, or did you read it?
The audiobook, unfortunately. I really want the book physically, because I know you've got the physical book and it looks great. But I couldn't find a copy, so Audible it was.
How did it go listening to it? Because obviously it's about kind of what would you say? Like, is she a nymphomaniac? Is she a...
Yeah, definitely a nymph. She's
a sex addict?
Definite, sex addict. And so the premise is basically that she, from the outside, appears to have this perfect life. She's wealthy, she's married, she's got a gorgeous son, but she's got a secret from her husband, like a secret life that she's living behind his back, and he's about to find out about it. So that's when the sex addiction comes out. He finds out what she's been doing. And so he is obviously really angry, and he alienates her and tortures her in every way but physically. And to me, it's a book about how, there's 2 different types of suffering and how far people go to hurt each other, and about mistakes people make and their egos, and just, that's how I portrayed the book. And you liked it a lot more than me.
Yeah, I think I gave it maybe 4 stars, but I don't know if that's because I just liked it a lot more than The Nanny. But I thought it was an interesting topic to write on, because I don't think many people write on sex addiction or talk about sex addiction.
It was very interesting, but personally I found that Lullaby had more of a storyline for me to follow. I enjoyed Lullaby or The Nanny better. I only gave Adele 3.5 stars.
I think she actually wrote this one before Lullaby.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I think because they have to be translated into English, so I think they picked Lullaby, and now they're going kind of through her other books. Because I think she's Moroccan.
I thought she was French.
I think it's French Moroccan, or she was raised in Morocco or something like that. Because I remember having a chuckle that the book is about, it's very sexual, and she dedicated it to her parents. I was like, oh no, ew.
No.
I was like, maybe that's how the French do it.
Well, yeah, I mean, after now reading 2 of her books, I can definitely say I'm sold, and I'll read anything that she does write again. Adele was good. I just thought that Lullaby was better in my opinion. I love how horrific her books are. They're really dark and sinister, very violent. This one was particularly steamy and just full of scandal, which I absolutely love in books. So yeah.
They're not big chunky books for the sake of being chunky books. Like she kind of just says what needs to be said and moves on.
Yeah, they're very quick reads.
Yeah, I think there's a trend at the moment to make books ginormous.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just filled with stuff that doesn't need to be there.
Yeah.
Like your mate, Stephen King.
Yeah, my mate. Oh, dear.
And then as for watching, we started watching a show called Animal Kingdom, which had been recommended to us by a few people. And it's about a family of kind of, I guess they're outlaws. And it was based on, it's set in California, but it's actually based on an Australian family, like a Australian kind of crime family, which is really good. We just finished the 3rd season of that. And then I've been watching Nashville, which is like about 2 kind of country singers and their lives and how they go about handling fame and fortune. And one is played by Connie Britton, and she's a bit older, and then the other one's played by Hayden Panettiere.
Oh, yeah.
That's like the younger hero.
That's the blonde, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, heroes. And
so she's younger, and she kind of, is more like teeny pop kind of star, but she wants to change her image. And I'm enjoying that. And then, Game of Thrones is back. You watch Game of Thrones?
I'm so behind. I'm on season 4, and Mark and all his mates really want to get together and do like Game of Thrones nights where we watch an episode all together. And I'm just like, I don't know how I'm going to catch up in time. Like,
yeah, because I think
there's so much.
So it's 3 episodes in. I watched it last night when I got home from work.
Apparently episode 3 is amazing.
Yeah, it was really good. I was like, I'm not like an audible person when I'm watching TV shows. Like I don't like cry out or like stuff like that. But last night I was like, oh my God, So
awesome.
I won't say any spoilers because obviously everyone watches it at different times, but it was good. There's 3 episodes left, so I'll be interested to see how they kind of tie it up.
I have heard a couple of spoilers. I won't mention them, but I was like, what on earth? That's disgusting. So I'm very interested to see how this all unfolds as I go along. Who do you support in the Game of Thrones? Like, who's your side?
My favorite character is the Red Woman, who I know isn't like someone that's up for the throne, but I think she's just a fascinating character. I don't know where you kind of are with her story arc in season 4, but I love seeing how she's developed. Like I think the actress is fantastic who plays her. And she had a fairly big part in last night's episode. But I like Daenerys, and I like Jon. I like Arya.
Arya's cool, yeah. She's just so tough.
She is. She's like a little tough little fighter. And then, like, most characters I like for what they are. Like, I don't know if I even hate a character per se.
Well, I hated Joffrey, and I'm so happy I just watched the episode where you know what happens to him. So I was like, yes.
Yeah. You even forget about, like, him.
So much happens.
Yeah, so much happens, and then you've got another, like, really shitty character to come, which is Ramsay. Yeah, I won't say anything. But yeah, Joffrey, God, the actor who played Joffrey, he pretty much quit acting after Game of Thrones.
Why?
Because he copped so much crap from people.
For just being an absolute terror.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you got to separate the character from the person. Yeah. Like, I'm sure he's not like that in real life.
Yeah, and I mean, it's like Harry Potter. Daniel Radcliffe finally got out of it, and Rupert Grint, he's on something called, what is it on Netflix now, Sick Note or something. Like, they are doing other things. Hey?
Yeah. Have you watched it, Sick Note?
No. It's on my list. And Hermione Granger, what's her name, Emma Watson, she went on to do Beauty and the Beast and stuff like that. I think it's great that they're finally like breaking out of what people assume stereotype. So but I'm as for Game of Thrones, I am probably in the most popular category here. I love Khaleesi.
Yeah, Daenerys. She's fantastic. And I love the actress that plays her, Emilia Clarke. Like, she's just
she's amazing.
gorgeous. And she's so funny. Like, I follow her on Instagram and she just seems really down to earth.
Oh, she's beautiful, and I love her in Me Before You as well.
Yeah, she's really good as Lou. I think that was great casting.
It's just amazing to see her, you know, like she's this absolute sex icon in Game of Thrones, but it's not even like the same person in Me Before You.
Yeah.
It's great. I love how someone can just act completely polar opposites.
Yeah, she's got really good range. I do really like her.
You haven't read My Lovely Wife by Samantha Downing yet, have you?
No, I haven't. I haven't seen it anywhere.
Really? Oh, well, I listened to it on Audible with Mark. We did a road trip to the Gold Coast. We went to the World Surf League and I met Kelly Slater, and that was amazing. But along the drive, we listened to My Lovely Wife, and it was really, really good.
Because that was one of the ones that I had on my list for 2019 anticipated reads. So I'm glad it's kind of lived up to the hype, because everything I read about it is really positive too.
Yeah, I mean, literally, I can't believe it's a debut novel. It's by far one of the most addictive and time-consuming books I've ever read. Yeah, I cannot wait to see what else she brings to us. But like, even so, my partner, obviously, you know, he's not the biggest thriller fan. He'll occasionally give one a bash for me, but the opening chapter of this book while we were driving just captured our attention. We just had to know what was going to happen. It's like we have like a husband and a wife, and they're in the kind of perfect marriage, and so it kind of sounds like the normal cliche thriller, but it's got such a unique plot, and it isn't like anything else in the genre that I've seen before. The husband and wife are serial killers, and it lacks the gore Karen Slaughter can bring to a book, but it does so well of still being such a good thriller. And it's like the opening chapter is kind of like this guy at a bar, and he's pretending to be deaf and like pick up a woman in this bar, but it's his internal dialogue, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm doing this, but it's not really who I am. That's not even really my name. And we're just like, what the fuck? It's really, really, really good. I don't know how to describe it without spoiling anything else, but read it as soon as you can, because it's amazing and I need to talk to you about it.
Yeah, I might see if it's on Booktopia actually.
Yeah, I'd love to get a physical copy of it eventually.
Yeah, the cover is gorgeous too.
Yeah.
Cover art at the moment is just unreal.
Have you been listening to any new podcasts or anything?
Oh, yeah, actually. I started this because I wanted like a funny podcast. And so I started, it's called How Did This Get Made?
Okay.
And it's got, do you watch Grace and Frankie?
No.
So it's got one of the girls from Grace and Frankie in it. And then it's got Jason Mantzoukas and Paul Scheer, who are comedic kind of actors. Basically, they watch a movie, and they like a bad movie, and they just talk about kind of like how did it get made, and they talk about like all the random plot holes and stuff like that. So they've done like they've done Spice World, which I love. I love that movie. And they do like
seen it.
They do movies like the really big blockbuster ones, like The Meg.
Oh yes.
Or Skyscraper. What's the one I'm listening to at the moment? Fast and Furious 6.
Is that the one where what's his name? Paul, the main actor? Is that when he's dead already?
I'm not sure.
Because apparently they bring his brother in or something, and the brother plays him because obviously Paul, whatever his name is, he died in that horrible car accident and couldn't finish the show or something.
Yeah, I haven't listened to that episode yet, so I'll let you know. But I actually heard about it because I think it's Karen Kilgariff from My Favorite Murder. She's been on a couple of episodes.
Ah.
Yeah, so I remember hearing about it on their podcast. I think it was like cross promotion between the two. So I thought, I'll give it a go. And it is really funny. It's good like when I'm driving late at night and I want to stay awake. Because sometimes audiobooks make you quite sleepy.
I find that I haven't been able to concentrate on a book for a while lately on Audible.
Yeah. What are you listening to at the moment?
I'm trying Bookwise on Audible. I'm trying to get into The Van Apfel Girls Are Gone by Felicity McClean, yeah. But I'm just struggling. There's nothing wrong with the book itself. I'm just not in an audiobook mood.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm just taking a break and listening to some podcasts. So, oh gosh, like I have 1,000 podcasts going at one time.
I know, you showed me when we saw each other the other day.
Yeah. But so there's one called Wine Mind, which is really good. I might have spoken about them before, but it's like these two kind of like scientist chicks, and they love wine, and so they get together and they talk about different things in our, like, why we like certain things. So say, for instance, like they drink wine and they talk about why can't I sleep. So I haven't listened to it yet, but I'm gathering it's something about insomnia or something. They have one that's like, what's in a dream? What does it mean? Or why do we love Harry Potter so much? They just like drink wine and they get into the details, but scientifically. So that's really cool. Good. Yeah, really, really good. And, they drink wine, so they're like our soul sisters. And there is one True Crime Island that's a guy, I think he's actually in Sydney with you. He does really, really good true crime podcasts. The most recent one I've got on here is called The Romance Scam, but he's an absolute bogan. He sounds like Ivan Milat, who is from the Wolf Creek, but what's it called, Balagongan Road. That's big serial killer in Australia. He's just got this like really croaky, husky voice, and he's hilarious. And then what else have I been listening to? This podcast Will Kill You. They do a whole bunch of different diseases, so that's really good. So much. I literally just got this one though, that one of the girls that did the Easter True Crime with me, she recommended one called My Mum Thinks My Memoir Is a Lie, and apparently it's a mother and daughter that read the daughter's memoir about when the mum was quite bad as an alcoholic, and the mum then talks about the book and how she disagrees a lot with it, but it's quite a loving podcast apparently, but it tackles a lot of different things. So I'm about to start listening to that, which I'm really excited for.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah, so that's some of the podcasts. I could go on all day, so I won't.
How long do you have?
But yeah, I have been watching Wolf Creek on Stan, which is absolutely amazing. It's 2 seasons long. It's about the Ivan Milat serial killer in Australia, and I am obsessed. And it's just so crazy because Casefile just did like a 5-part series about the whole Ivan Milat case, and my partner, I didn't even know this, he's busy listening to an audiobook about it, and then we start like watching that. So it's like this case is just like at the forefront of my life at the moment, so that's really interesting to get. Yeah, just like getting so much information from so many different platforms. So that's really good. Really enjoying it. It's quite gory and graphic, but very good.
Yeah, the movie is too, from memory.
I haven't seen the movie yet. That's my next thing.
I think it's the same actor.
That's interesting.
That's good. At least they kept it consistent.
And then other things I've been enjoying are The Disappearance of Madeline McCann on Netflix.
Oh, yes.
A lot of people...
The first episode, and then we both fell asleep in the second episode.
Oh, no. Well, a lot of people are saying, okay, it doesn't bring anything new to the case, and, I guess because I was quite young when the case happened, I didn't take that much of an interest in learning the details, so it's all very new information for me. So I'm finding it absolutely fascinating, and Mark's really enjoying it too. So I think we've got like an episode or 2 left of that. I also started watching Working Moms, which is a Canadian sitcom on Netflix, and that is so funny.
Is it?
Really, yeah, I enjoy it. But I'm not sure if you would like it, because you don't like the whole like mums doing mummy blogs and stuff like that. So I don't know if you.
Oh no, it's not that I don't like that.
All right.
I just don't like people that shame other mums.
All right. Oh, these it's literally just about a whole bunch of women that are in the working world, and they've got these babies, and they've got a pump, or they're leaking, or everyone's got a different story, but they're just so great. It's sad, it's horrible, but it's hilarious all at the same time. Very much like another show I'm busy watching. I just finished watching, called Afterlife, which has got Ricky Gervais in it. That's really good. Have you heard of it?
You mentioned it to me when we met up.
Ah, right.
I think you just started it.
It's so funny. It sounds really morbid because it's about this guy, Tony, whose wife dies, and he decides to take his sadness out on the world. But it's just got that really dry British humour, and it's brilliant. I love it.
He's good. I really like Ricky Gervais.
The only other thing I really have to report is that sadly we did not make it through to the Australian Podcast Awards finale. So hopefully next year we have some more support from our lovely listeners and can get right up there.
Yeah, but thank you to everyone who voted.
Yeah.
We took a chance because I think the awards came out and we only had about 6 episodes, I think.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, we were at one stage in the top 10, but then by the end we were in the top 20, which is still amazing considering we've only been around for less than a year.
And considering we were dealing with people who have podcasts who are celebrities.
Yes, who have literally thousands of votes. It's slightly unfair in my opinion, but then they do have different categories like new podcast, best new podcast awards and stuff.
Yeah.
But we tried to go in for the literature, arts and literature one, I believe.
There were 2, I think, that we went for.
Yeah, it was a popular vote category and the arts and literature.
I think popular vote you automatically get put into. Right. But it was arts and literature and something else. I can't remember now. It was that long ago that we even entered. But yeah.
And then we met. So we are not the Bookish and Wine and Juice podcast from 2 book lovers who have never met anymore.
Who have met once.
How did you find our meeting, Chiara?
Yeah, it was good. We went to a pub in Rose Bay. That was really nice.
Of course, there was drinking involved.
There was some drinking, and then we got some food, and Mark was eyeing off my food because I didn't finish my plate.
He's a vacuum.
But yeah, it was nice evening spent.
Yes.
Nice, summery, warm evening, and then we did 2 lives. Did we do 2 quick lives?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I wish we'd actually saved those. That would be quite cool to see.
I think they save.
Oh really?
Yeah, I think we can see them on our page.
We'll go have a look there because you can see us finally together. And I realised just how short Chiara is when I met her.
Not that much shorter than you.
Well, I never really believed that you were shorter than me because I'm quite short. But you were a little bit shorter than me, and I was like, ah! It was very cute.
Not much. Let's not get dramatic.
And she realised what an absolute tit she decided to start a podcast with.
I always knew that.
Thanks, Chiara.
Hey, you called me short.
You called me a tit.
You called yourself a tit.
That's okay. It's only okay when I say it. Well, you have to get to work, I believe.
Yes, I do. I have to start putting some slop on my face to make myself look decent.
So you literally not have any makeup on?
No.
You look good. I look like a flippin' Eskimo with a very burnt face.
I just woke up.
Lucky.
Right when you messaged me, I had just gotten up to message you to say I'm ready to go soon.
Coffee. Oh, that's the other thing. I'm busy reading American Psycho by Bret, Easton, Ellis.
Oh, yeah.
My God, it is horrific. Just the most disturbing, hideous book I've ever read. But I'm still very grateful that you bought it for me. So American Psycho, it's just such a crazy book, and we've decided to get together and do a like Brisbane Murderino book club. So it's just disgusting, and it's banned in Queensland. So if you go to like a library or something, you literally have to go and ask them, and they've got to go into like the restricted section to go get it. And if you go into a bookstore, they have to keep them behind the shelves because they're not allowed to advertise it.
Oh, that's interesting. Just in Queensland?
Well, I know it's banned in Queensland. I'm not sure about the other states in Australia. But so one of my girlfriends, she ordered a copy online, and when it arrived, it had this massive sticker on it saying "Warning, only for 18 years and up," and like it covered half the actual cover. So pretty crazy. Yeah.
And have you seen the movie yet?
No, I'm going to, if I can find a copy of it, very legally, of course.
Yeah, Queensland remains the only state that bans the sale of American Psycho.
Yeah, it's mad. I was like, what? So it's been an interesting pick for the book club. So thank you very much for buying it for me.
No worries. It looks like it was only banned in 2015, maybe.
I wonder why. I'd love to know why.
Deeply and extremely disgusting.
My words exactly.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I didn't even know they banned books in Australia.
Oh, in Australia, it's like everything is bloody banned. It's ridiculous. I'm amazed at how many rules there are here.
Oh, Australia is a very nanny state.
I'll let you head off and get to work.
Yeah. What are you up to for the rest of the day?
I don't know. I spent all day yesterday working on like my LinkedIn profile and applying for some jobs. I hear back hopefully very soon if I have a job for two months starting tomorrow. So fingers crossed. Some receptionist broke her wrist, so she needs some time off. So hopefully I've got a job for a bit.
Fair enough. Where would that be?
It's in Northgate. So
okay.
Just out of the CBD, I think, yeah. So we'll see. Looks like a bit of a mission to get to on public transport, but I just need the money at the moment. So.
You can't drive?
I can drive, yeah. I'm still getting used to A, automatic cars, and B, very big cars. Because I had a manual and small car, so I'm just a bit nervous. But I'm getting there. I've been driving to and from that Gold Coast and Sunshine Coast and stuff, so getting there.
Yeah, fair enough. Is the public transport good in Brisbane?
It's all right. Like especially around say 7-ish, 7:30, it's very crowded.
Yeah.
So if you get a seat, you're pretty lucky. But yeah, it's all right. It's not the best, but for the most part, yeah, whatever. It's just public transport, I guess. I don't really have much to compare it to. Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
See you later.
All right. See you later.
Bye. Let me know if you get the job.
Will do. Thank you. See ya.
Say hi to Mark. Bye.
Thanks for listening to Books and Booze. You can find us on Instagram and Twitter under BooksBoozePod or email us at hello@booksboozepod.com. We're also on Patreon if you'd like to support our podcast by donating as little as $2 a month. If you're looking for a free way to support us, then you can leave us a review on Apple iTunes or Stitcher. It really helps other people find us. As always, it's been a pleasure. I'm Jade, and you can follow my Instagram at boho_bookworm, and Chiara is my co-host, and you can find her under bookish.kiki. Until next time, happy reading and drink responsibly.